What makes Batman? Batman? His mind? His tragedy? His suit? Yes, but there's something else. A symbol that's heard before it's seen. A roar that echoes in the dark alleys of Gotham. A silhouette that strikes primal fear into the hearts of criminals. It's not just a car. It's armor. It's a weapon. It's a fortress. It's a character. It is the Batmobile. Over its 80-year history, we've seen dozens of versions. From elegant, almost comical sports cars to lumbering military tanks. Each iteration is a mirror, not just of its time, but of Bruce Wayne's own state of mind. But behind each one lie engineering secrets, cinematic tricks, and amazing facts you might not have known. Today, we're opening the hood, looking under the armor, and diving into the darkest corners of Bruce Wayne's garage. These are the amazing facts about the Batmobile. Our journey begins in 1966, in the bright, colorful, boom, pow, and bam, Gotham of Adam West. Fact 1. A car from the future. Of 1955. Many think this famous car was built from scratch. Not quite. The foundation was a real 1955 concept car, the Lincoln Futura. It was a unique vehicle, designed in Italy by the Ghia studio. It cost a staggering $250,000. That's over $5 million in today's money. It had a futuristic design, a bubble-top canopy, but it was never a commercial success. Fact 2. Bought for $1. So how did it get on the show? 20th Century Fox hired legendary Hollywood customizer George Barris. The deadline was insane. Just 3 weeks before filming began. Ford didn't know what to do with the Futura. So Barris, who had seen the car once, simply bought it from the studio's backlit for $1 symbolic. Fact 3. A 3-week miracle. Barris and his team worked around the clock. They added the signature bat fins, red pinstripes, rocket tubes in the back, and, of course, the Bat Phone. The car was fitted with a Ford the 5th-8 engine, and it was fully functional. They made it in exactly 3 weeks. Fact 4. Real gadgets and real problems. This car was packed with gadgets, and some of them were real. For example, the parachutes for a quick stop, which deployed from the back, actually worked. And the flamethrower from the jet turbine was so real that the California police fined Barris several times for using an illegal accelerator. Besides the phone, the car had a bat scanner and a bat beam, which were admittedly just props. After the bright 60s, the world forgot about Batman for almost 20 years. And when he returned, he brought the night with him. In 1989, Tim Burton hated the camp of the 60s. He needed a car that inspired not laughter, but pure fear. Fact 5. Not a car, a sculpture. Designer Anton first wanted to create something that looked like brute force mixed with Art Deco. He combined the aesthetics of 1930s land speed racers and jet fighters. The car had to be long, low, and absolutely otherworldly. It wasn't supposed to look like it was made by humans. Fact 6. Built on a clunker. Underneath this gothic masterpiece lies the chassis of 2 old Chevrolet Impalas. Yes, they were literally welded together to achieve that incredible length. And the heart of the beast was a reliable, but decidedly non-jet powered Chevrolet V8 engine. Fact 7. The jet turbine was for show. What about the pillar of fire from the turbine? It was a complete fake. The flame was created by a separate rig that ran on a mixture of paraffin and gas. And the sound. The turbine sound was also recorded separately. It was a complex mix of a military jet engine and an old train. Fact 8. A nightmare for the driver. Michael Keaton and the stunt drivers hated this car. The hood was so long that they literally couldn't see where they were going. To make a corner, they had to start the turn a full block in advance. And in the cramped cockpit, especially in the rubber bath suit, it was incredibly hot. Keaton admitted to having panic attacks from claustrophobia. He could barely move or even turn his head. Fact 9. A real cocoon. Remember the protective, cocoon mode, when the car shielded itself, it was completely real. Well, sort of. It was a separate, lightweight prop shell made of fiberglass that was lowered onto the car between takes. It wouldn't have protected against anything, but on screen, it looked like impenetrable titanium. After Burton's dark success, Warner Brothers wanted one thing: to sell toys. And director Joel Schumacher gave them what they wanted. Gotham was suddenly flooded with neon light. Fact 10. A living organism. For Batman Forever, 1995, designer Barbara Ling created something that was meant to look like a living organism. Glowing ribs, through which you could see the car's insides. The engine and wheel discs pulsed with blue neon. The idea was that the car was an extension of Batman, his external skeleton. Fact 11. Driving up walls. This Batmobile had one of the strangest gadgets: the ability to drive vertically up walls using a grappling hook. Of course, this was a complex combination of CGI and lightweight miniature models. Fact 12. The longest and most absurd, but the peak was the car from Batman Robin, 1997. It was the longest Batmobile in history, over 30 feet long. And yet, it had a single-seat open cockpit. Yes, an armored car for fighting crime in Gotham, where it's always raining or snowing, had no roof. The logic? Director Joel Schumacher wanted a clear view of George Clooney's face. It was, essentially, a parade float. After the neon failure of Batman Robin, the franchise needed a hard reboot, and Christopher Nolan brought something to Gotham that had never been there before: brutal, uncompromising realism. Fact 13. The Lumbo Tank. Nolan didn't want a car, he wanted a tank. When he started working on Batman Begins, he described his idea to the designers as, "It's a hybrid of a Lamborghini and a military Humvee." He even glued a rough model together himself from toy cars to show what he wanted. Thus, the Tumbler was born. Fact 14. It's not CGI. It's real. The most amazing thing about the Tumbler is that it exists. Unlike 99% of movie cars, it's not a prop. It's a fully functional, custom-built vehicle. For full-size cars were built for filming, each costing over $250,000. Fact 15. A beast under the hood. The heart of the Tumbler was a 5.7-liter Chevrolet V8, putting out over 500 horsepower. It weighed 2.5 tons, but could accelerate from 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. And yes, it really jumped. All the jumps in the film, including the famous rooftop chase, were performed by stunt drivers for real, without CGI. Fact 16. It doesn't turn. Well, almost. Because of the unique front suspension with no axle, the Tumbler was incredibly difficult to drive. The stunt driver who performed most of the tricks said it was the hardest vehicle he had ever operated. It had no mirrors, and visibility was almost zero. Fact 17. Destroyed for real. In The Dark Knight, the Joker blows up the Tumbler with a bazooka, and Nolan actually blew it up. It wasn't a miniature. They detonated one of the full-sized, working models, which led to the emergence of Fact 18. The Bat-Pod child of the Tumbler, the legendary Bat-Pod. And this, too, was not CGI. It was a real, custom motorcycle, built into the Tumbler. Riding it was a nightmare. It was steered less with the handlebars, and more by shifting your shoulders. And the wheels! Those were 31-inch truck tires, and they could genuinely rotate independently. Stuntman Jean-Pierre Goy was the only person in the world who could ride it. Time moved on, and Batman got angrier, more brutal, and so did his cars. Fact 19. Zack Snyder's Frankenstein. 4. Batman v Superman. Zack Snyder wanted a car that looked like it had been through a war. This Batmobile is a hybrid of Nolan's Tumbler and the classic long nose of Burton's car. It was armed with cannons and harpoons and was a pure killing machine, until Batman changed his views. Fact 20. A true muscle car built in a garage. And finally, the Batman 2022. Director Matt Reeves wanted to show a Batman at the start of his career. He doesn't have Wayne Tech billions to build tanks yet, so his car is a furious muscle car, resembling a battered 1970s Dodge Charger, which he clearly built himself in his garage. It's not a work of art. It's a tool. Fact 21. The engine is a weapon. The sound is a character. In this car, the main thing isn't the gadgets, but the raw, untamed power. It's equipped with a giant V8 engine mounted behind the driver, but the most important thing is the sound. The sound design team worked for months on the roar of this V8. They wanted it to sound not like a car, but like an angry beast, like a monster from a horror film. When Gotham hears that roar, it knows vengeance is coming. From a bright toy bought for $1 to a gothic sculpture, from an invincible military tank to a dirty, self-built muscle car, the Batmobile is much more than a car. It's a mirror of Batman himself. It changes with him. It evolves. It can be sophisticated. It can be brutal. But one thing remains unchanged. It's not just transportation. It's a statement. It's a warning. It's a shadow on the asphalt, hurtling through the night. That is the Batmobile.